Remember this from our last episode? Before we move on to riding, he has to let us on. Stick around as we deal with a horse who won't stand to mount.
So we're back, and this will be our second segment on working with this somewhat belligerent horse. This began right as soon as we got the bridle on. We didn't do anything secret off camera. We just put the bridle on him, and we're now gonna sort of progress him to where we're riding him and see if what we've done starts the process to getting him more receptive. So the first thing we need to see is he standing and paying attention better? Now right now, see Mel, he's shutting you out, he's looking elsewhere. Just give him a little signal that there you go. So you can see that the handler means a little more to him than he did before I brutalized him. What you want to do is make sure he sort of is tuned into you. Maybe you go in there and establish for yourself what I did with him. See if you can get in there, move his shoulders to the side, and have that button on him. There you go. There you go. Very nice. That's a nice feel, because a lot of times it's weird to say move your shoulders and don't move anything else. Now if he creeps on you like that, it's just as well take a step back and move his shoulders over instead of just jiggling his face. I will jiggle their face, but I think with him, moving him away from you like that is important. See, and he still has that bunny hop in him. Now, see how he came towards you? Yep. Because you didn't invite him in. Now, just take a minute, let him stand there like a gentleman. So what we're going to do next, we're going to just go through the sequence of the same sorts of things that we did when we first put Melanie up on him to show his natural tendencies. And for a while, I would say he's going to be a bit stupid. But hopefully, we'll get him to where that's no longer an issue. So you may not want to move his whole body and his whole, like that much forward. Just sort of step him over as opposed to stepping him around. There you go. There you go. See how he stepped directly lateral. You want him to step right away from you. You don't need him to blow by you. So what we're going to do first is get on him. Now, he may be a total jerk about getting on. I'm hoping that what we did on the ground is going to have some carryover, but it's never 100%. Let's get on him. If he's stupid, we're not going to get on. We're going to correct that problem because we're going to take this step by step. If he's not leading right, why would you get on him? If he won't let you get on him right, why would you ride him off? So we're going to work on getting on him. Okay, double him around there and step off. He let you get pretty far, but then as soon as you got into the saddle, he was off to the races. So step off of him. Go ahead and get on, and if he moves anywhere, even backwards, we're going to step down and correct him. And what Melanie's doing is really good. Don't hold his face. Okay, get down. Now let's back him up. Just work him and back him around to where he learns that if he's going to go forward and be belligerent, he gets to work, go backwards, and kind of scrub that off of himself. Now back him over this way so you're a little closer to camera. And do what you need to do to get him going backwards. If you need to work on his shoulders a little bit to get him to back up, that's okay. There you go. Now get him just positioned so we can see you getting on camera. And we'll see if he can be more. That's enough. Get down. We're going to take this one step at a time. That wasn't bad. He didn't make a mistake. Do the same thing. This isn't just about getting on him, it's getting him to where he accepts you getting on him. Hop up and down with your extra foot. Okay, you see how he moved when you put a little pressure on him? So take the saddle horn and wiggle him around. See if you can get him to where he shifts his feet, which he did a little bit. Just use whatever strength you need to just wiggle him around. Now, that's going to get him into a better frame of mind as far as having pressure put on the saddle horn. It's also going to help him to get his feet into a better position where he's better set up for you to get on. So let's see what happens if you go to get on him now. Good, good. Now, do you see him think bad thoughts? But you got off. But as soon as you see him doing that, just sort of keep doing what you're doing. Don't take the next step. Go ahead, wiggle that saddle horn around a little bit. You can't overdo that. Now, he's already got his legs spread out in front, which is good. So you're getting him shifting, and he's saying, well, I don't have to move when somebody pulls on that saddle horn. Okay? Now see what happens if you start to get on him. Now your saddle seems to be shifting quite a little bit. Is it tight?
Yeah.
Just rolls a little bit on him?
Yeah.
Okay. When you do get on him, try to go as straight up as you can. In other words, don't drag on him. Try to direct your motion straight up. And once you get up high enough, then you can go put your upper body across the saddle a bit so that will bring you in closer to him. But you don't want to just drag him off to the side. Even though you're little and he's big, it's surprising how much that can encourage them to move. Go ahead and give him a try. Yep, back him up. That wasn't just a little shift, that was a real disobedience. Okay, now let's see if he's taking that more seriously at this point. We'll see if that little bit of backup was a reminder or whether we need to work him a little harder. Yeah, and that movement's okay because that was just balance.
Want me to try him?
Yep, go ahead. And don't lose complete contact with your reins, because if he sells out, remember, there's no sides on this pen. He might end up in the next county. Okay, so you probably overdid just a little bit. Don't feel like you're going to try to pole vault up on him. Take your time and let him make his mistake. Because if you try to go faster to get on, he'll just start going faster to get away. You still getting her on camera good? And you'll notice Melanie's all over the pen here. That's okay. She can go all over the farm if she wants. And you can get up there on the side of him and sort of dwell for a minute, as long as your saddle's not going to capsize. And as long as he doesn't do anything violent. Good. Now, get off and back him up. Not ugly, but just back him up and back him a ways to where he knows that when he does that, he's going to have to exert himself a bit. A little bit more. I mean, you could back him till you get back here in camera range a little better. That'll be good for him. There you go. You sort of chased him back a little, and that's fine. Whatever you need to do to make him work. He's not the most willing worker in America. So put him to work now, he's not working. This should begin to seem like a pretty good deal. Back him up a little bit more and then we'll go back and get on it. There you go. He just needs to generally take you a little more seriously. Actually, what he needs is to take humanity a little more seriously. That's not you specifically. You're just the nearest thing to a human he has to work on right now. Well, let's see how he does. And you know, this takes what it takes. The one thing we didn't do was go ahead and perfect this, then put it on video and make it look perfect. We're doing it in real life. Yeah, that's okay. Now let's see what he does if you start to swing on it. Just start the process. Don't try to beat him into the saddle. Just see what he does when you make your move. Good, good. Now, and what you can do if you don't think he's going to do anything awful is stand up there and just sort of give him a chance to rethink it, you know. Just sort of, you can hold him and say, wait a minute, do you really want me to get down and start over again, or could you maybe just cancel that out? Good. Get down. Now, it would have been real easy for me to say, get the heck on there, and we'll make it look good. But we're doing this not just for today, but for the rest of his life. You know, it's not like this is the only time he's going to need this, but it's going to get less and less. Okay, now, back him up just a little, because he may have forgotten himself. Yeah, now go ahead. Walk him up a little, just to get a little bit more into range. Stop him and back him up. Yeah, there you go. Now let's see what happens if you get on it. If he's good, you can swing the whole way on this time. If he moves after you're on, then just make him stop and stand, even if you have to double his head around. Because the worst thing he does is he'll get you into the saddle and then he's just gone. There you go, just outlast him. There you go. There you go. Yep, take your time. Whoop, now double him around. Don't be ugly to him, but just double him around. There you go, you got him stopped. Now, get off of him just a little. In other words, get off, now see, he wants to just double him around. You don't even need to back him up on his back because that may make him get stupid. Just double him around, just bend him around and put him to work. We're just showing him that he can stand still and be relaxed, or he can do some work. Okay, sort of get off to the side of him, bend him around. If he moves, that's his price he pays. Drop your reins. If he moves, take his head. Okay, take his head. He moved. See? Doesn't take much of a move. Right as he was moving that second foot, you probably would have been better if you'd been down there taking his head. We're not going to hold him back. We're just going to redirect him. Okay, go ahead. Oh, there he goes. Double him around. Double him around. And yeah, alternate sides. That's exactly the right move. Okay, he's thinking of moving. Okay, just put a little pressure in that left stirrup and see if he wiggles. Good. Now go back to the other side. Not just wiggle your backside around there. If he moves. So what we're going to do, remember how we wiggled the saddle horn around when you were when you were on the ground? Well, now you just sort of say to yourself, I'm going to wiggle myself around and move that saddle, shift it all around on him to where he doesn't feel like that means move. And if he does move, just take his head around. Yeah, just go ahead and don't be too cautious. Just pretend like you're having a seizure. You know, just sort of wiggle it around. Now, double him around, walk him around, and make him work. Because that just taking his head around, that's not quite enough of a price for him to pay. Okay, wiggle that saddle around. And work him a little bit. So we're spending a lot of time at this early stage so that we maybe will have better luck when we get him to doing something. And because if we ignore this stage, it's only going to get worse, and it's only going to get worse as we go forward. Now leave his head doubled there and just wiggle yourself around gently so he doesn't think you're going to kick him in the nose. There you go. Now release his head. Now wiggle the saddle around a little bit. There, that's good. That's good. Don't keep going till he fails. So we could get on and off him 25 times, and that would probably be good, and that would probably make us a whole separate video section. But we've got the groundwork done that he's no longer walking on you. He's standing still, and he's letting you get on him at least once. And since we're only going to ride him once, we're okay with that. And he's also not moving off automatically without being asked. And you did exactly the right thing. He started to move, so put him to work.
So, not perfect, but good progress. Come back and see us next week as we move on to ride this horse.